What's up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another figure review for you. The figure I'm looking at today is the Astrobots Argus. So Astrobots had sort of an interesting founding. It was a digital project made by a guy whose name escapes me, and he made a couple different humanoid files. This was one of them, and there's a smaller, slimmer looking core, and they were both sold as STL files. You could take them and 3D print them, and then assemble your own figures. And then a toy company saw that. I guess I'm not sure exactly where the proactive intention went, but a toy company eventually got signed on to manufacture these as, manufacture plastic injection figures. And that's where they kind of came up to where they're at now. This may seem a little convenient because Astrobots actually made a new announcement just not too long ago for new figures, and I'm just like, maybe I'll pick up one of those too. But anyhow, so this is Argus, and it's so there's like a mythos behind these characters, like a story behind them. And apparently this guy here, so Argus is, I'm trying to remember, a Greek mythology character who had like 1,000 eyes. And the idea with this is that there's like one computer entity that controls just a whole bunch of these Argus drones, and they do like security and whatnot. And then there's the other one, Apollo, is some sort of, I don't know, some sort of unique model. I haven't read it myself, but I did a little bit of reading up on this guy because I was interested in it. But anyhow, it's cool, and I like the aesthetics of it, and I like the focus on poseability that these have, and probably get them in the future when the next sets that come out and whatnot. But anyhow, in terms of accessories, he really doesn't have any accessories. The only thing that you could kind of count as accessories is he's got these like wrist mounted cannon things that just pop right off, because the underlying sculpt is the same as Apollo. It just has these things that attach onto it. If I had an Apollo, I could in fact take these and attach them onto him if I wanted to. There are some other minor details, like this is different and this is different. Like these little chest ports here, which actually come off as well, are different, and these little parts on the shoulder, these little parts on the hips, the toes. So there's a few subtle sculpting differences between Argus and Apollo, but overall I like the look of Argus better. I think it's really cool looking. But yeah, let's get into the poseability of the figure. So he's got a ball joint up at the head. Oh, sorry, before I get into that, so because this is just a figure with poseability, it doesn't transform, it doesn't come with any accessories. There wasn't really any instructions in the package. There was just, like, on one of the flaps, there was just a little thing that says, oh, by the way, remove this panel, throw in some batteries, and then his eyes can light up. And I've seen the like light up effect, and it's okay, I guess, but it's not like, I don't know, I don't really want to put batteries in my figures, because I know that I'll probably forget them, and then they'll degrade and ruin my toys or ruin the electronics from being useful ever again. So I don't know. It's weird that the idea of having electronics that are useful is more important to me than actually using them. So just to some oddity. But anyhow, his head is on a ball joint. It's actually on 2 ball joints. So he's got just a lot of poseability. His head will rotate around inside here pretty well, left and right. You can rotate it farther if you tilt his head up and around that collar. It gives him some like sass and attitude, looking around and tilting his head and looking up and down and all that jazz. He's got his arm is on this big like barbell style joint. Like there's definitely some sort of a ball joint deep inside there that you can't see because it's all covered by this sleeve here, which is not the joint itself, by the way. That's just the sleeve. And it comes in and out ever so slightly. So you've got some options when it comes to running the full range of that. Tuck it in for a little bit to have a more compact look. Pull it out when you're doing like big extreme movements, like big butterfly joint movements or whatnot. So a lot of good stuff in there. The arm will go all the way around on a pin joint here. Will come out for the full tree pose. Of course, that combined with this joint here gives you more range of posability there. Freely rotating bicep joint. He's got a double jointed elbow with all sorts of really great detail in here, like nothing looks weird when it bends all the way. The way they offset those joints, because of course one joint is centered right here and the other joint is centered here. So you've got one of them that turns on that elbow joint there and the other one comes on this one here. But together they give you just as much as you really need. Wrist is on a swivel here and a hinge here. If you have this little cannon taken off, then it will rotate all the way back. And his hands are extremely expressive. He's got a ball joint here at the thumb, a pin joint above that, and a pin joint in the middle of the thumb. And then each finger is on its own base pin hinge with 3 more on top of that. And I also like it that so the fingers aren't mounted all at the same length, but also the fingertips are different. So it gives you like a natural looking, So his hands like look really big and chunky, but like they work really well. And he can grab all sorts of stuff. He doesn't, like I said, he doesn't come with any instructions in the box, but like there's a lot of things that you can have him hold. Like here's some cleavers from a Hexatron, and they work out pretty good for him. Give him some like knives or whatnot. And there's a bunch of other accessories. When you're looking for accessories that this figure can hold, the biggest thing that's going to get that's going to get in the way is the like masterpiece style pegs on the handles. They will prevent how well it can grip around it. So he's got like a ball joint up here in his upper torso. And then below that, he's got this hinge. So there's a huge amount of forward and back motion you can do here. This ball joint also will swivel. But in addition to that, there's an actual waist joint down here right above his pelvis. His legs they're not cut up straight up and down there at this angle. And so that's a little weird, but it's also kind of more, technically it's more natural because humans don't really have a straight up and down pivot point either, even though we traditionally tend to think of it that way. But these will rotate all the way around. There is no this much forward and that much back. Like they will do the full 360 on that. That'll go out for, again, not technically the full Thor, but enough of it that you can twist them around to get the leg to kick up and around however you want. because that combined with this thigh joint, like, again, the range of motion is just extraordinary on these figures. He's got a double jointed knee for the full bend there. He's got a joint here for the foot goes up and down, and then also you can tilt it side to side. And then a big old toe joint here. And so, like, this figure will just do all sorts of great poses, and it looks natural and active, like it legitimately looks like when you put it into a pose, like it looks like it's just full of action and like halted motion, and I'm so impressed with this figure. I've got a buddy of mine who has one of these figures that he uses as a reference model for drawings that he does. If you've got a drawing with a particularly masculine, muscular, top heavy physique, like the Hulk or some big like bodybuilder guy, like this figure fills in really well for that. And it looks really good, and it's got really good just balance and overall the aesthetics and the it's just fun to play with. Like this is the ultimate desk toy, because it just naturally goes into all sorts of wonderful fun, entertaining poses. I don't know. I could sit here and play with this thing for like 30 minutes, and that would be the review. But I'm not sure if that would be the most meaningful review that we could have. But I picked this up at TF Source, I believe, has got it for like $65. And it's a full recommend from me. I'm looking forward to the like Fembot ones that they're coming out with. Of those two, I'm definitely going to pick up the Artemis one, and then I really kind of hope that they go back to the designer's roots and release that other humanoid figure who I don't even know what it's called, but that other humanoid model that came out shortly before this one. I think that'd be great too. But anyhow, thanks everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody stay good and stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya.